Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Season 36 ISFL Draft. I'm here with a couple GMs who are gonna announce their names now. Who goes first? CK is first.
Hey guys, I'm CK Royal, 92, the GM of the San Jose SaberCats.
Next.
Me?
Yep.
Professionals here, guys.
All right, meeting McDonald. My name is Negs, and I'm the general manager for the Liberty.
So I'm unconfident. I'm the GM for the Copperheads.
Hey guys, I'm Zan, and I'm the GM of the New York Silverbacks. Yeah.
Yeah, and since we are only like 5 people, every GM will read for a different team as well. Why don't we get started off with the first pick for Colorado?
I will be reading off for Colorado. This is going to be fun. So, with the first overall pick of the Season 36 ISFL Draft, the Colorado Yeti select Graham Harper, Purple Rain from the Norwell Seawolves. This is what the Yeti had to say about this user. As an absolute superstar of a user who has done everything right to stand out from the crowd, even in this stacked draft class, from hitting the ground running in Norfolk to being a pleasant presence in the Yeti locker room, there's not enough time to sing their praises here. We are just pleased as can be that we can get to have them around for the long term and hope for the league's sake they continue to contribute so much good. Also, shout out for the amazing username. Yeah, this is a very easy pick to see coming, I found.
Yeah, very great user. Let's carry on with the second pick.
That's also me.
Oh, yeah.
So with the second overall pick in the draft, the Austin Copperheads select. Oh boy, Zaphod Beeble Brock, Moody 99 wide receiver. So Moody, I didn't actually write anything down for this because why would I do that? But Moody, he's been with the Copperheads since the team was like created back in like season 19 or whatever. And he's been in our war room. He's been a GM. He's been the quarterback. It was a very easy selection to get this guy. He was very great, and I'm glad to bring him back.
Yeah, he's the second Austin user to be drafted with 3 players, right? But behind Net.
Yeah, right after Net last season.
You got some great users there, both of those two.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So I'm up here now. With the third overall pick, the New York Silverbacks will be selecting Timo Swift, Repkanar. This guy's been awesome. Like, I've gotten the opportunity to spend a lot of time with him in Minnesota, and he's just kind of amazed me at everything he's been doing. He's kind of taken to the sim really quickly, and he's already taken over as the GM of Minnesota like this past season. And he's just like an overall like power user in this every sense of the world. And I'm excited that we are able to bring him here to New York. And I think there's going to be a lot of great things with him in the future. And I'm like thrilled that with him. In my mind, I thought if we had 1 overall, I think we would have taken him there too. So that's how excited I am to bring him in. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, and I'm also reading for Nola, aren't I?
Yeah. Yep.
So with the 4th overall pick, the New Orleans second line will be selecting Don Dobler. So they said there were a few key needs we needed in Nola. One of the most important was a wide receiver of the future for our newest quarterback. Ever since joining the league, Jason has been incredible to be around. He has been an awesome locker room presence in Tijuana, and he's really involved in media on the forums and is, in our minds, one of the top users in this class. And we are so excited to bring him and the Dobble to NOLA.
Double.
We're going to move on to Chicago with the 5th pick here.
The 5th pick, the Chicago Butchers select Xavier Valorian, defensive tackle. CC had this to say: the top 5-ish picks of this draft could have gone in almost any order, in my opinion, but I didn't expect Zave to be the one that would fall to us. Obviously ecstatic that he did. I noticed him in rookie chat the day I made the RNFL post. I could immediately tell that he was going to be a first rounder. He's super active, a great earner, and has a league job or two. Most notably, Portland Twitter app, where he has had the pleasure to bother painted, a big plus. He's everything you want in a first-round pick, so we're happy to have him in Chicago for years to come. Welcome to the team.
Congrats, Save. We're gonna carry on with the 6th pick of the draft. Who has Berlin?
That's Sam.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm sorry. With the 6th overall pick, the Berlin Salamanders will be selecting Kevin McThumper, Chucky. So, in a great draft class, Chucky was one of our highest rated players. They have shown the ability to be a fantastic earner, and they have gone above and beyond, putting in time and effort to the league. And they recently became the GM of the Bondi Beach Buccaneers, and they are thrilled to bring in Chucky to this team.
Yeah, congrats, Chucky. He's a great guy. Already GM of the Bondi
For
Beach
sure.
Buccaneers. So yeah, very deserved pick. Next up, San Jose with pick 7.
57th
Wants to
pick.
pronounce this one.
With the 7th pick, the San Jose SaberCats select Juwan Holland, safety from the Norfolk Sioux Wolves. User Friesen 1520. Friesen, I've seen him around a lot in rookie chat, and he brings a lot of energy, makes some killer graphics, and we're really excited to bring him in.
Okay, congrats as well. I'm gonna carry on with the 8th pick for Philadelphia.
All right. With the 8th pick in the draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select Alexander Milescu, user Alik. Once our war room saw the video of him doing the double, that was kind of over at that point. We realized we kind of just needed to take him in the first round. Sebster was begging for us to take him, and our scouting with him sealed the deal. He's someone who lights up the locker room the second that he's in there, and we were excited for him to be one of our long-term answers at the safety position. And I now believe he owes us a video of him rapping into fried chicken.
Can't wait to see that. All right, next up is me. With the 9th pick, the Yellowknife selects JT Kurbis, O-line, user Joshipu. And Yellowknife had this to say. Yellowknife has been needing a human offensive lineman on the team for quite a while now. Things never seem to work quite right for that to happen. We'd had our eye on JT for a while, and when he fell to us, it was a no-brainer pick. We hope he can have a long career here, keeping our QB upright and blocking for young runners. Congrats.
With the 10th pick in the draft, the Orange County Otters select wide receiver Thomas Robinson, user Infernate. Orange County had to say we knew early on that we needed to target wide receiver in the draft, and Infernate is a great user that we are happy to add to the roster. We're looking forward to bringing him aboard and seeing what he can do.
Congrats. Next up, Chicago again.
Wow.
Oh.
With the 11th pick, the Chicago Butchers select Quentin Quarterstorm, safety from London, user 26. CC had this to say. We had a pretty tough time with this pick just because we love 26 so much as a prospect, but have zero need at the safety position. Luckily, we hatched a plan that'll open a spot for him soon, so we didn't have to pass on such a great prospect. We were really only considering one other player here, but when we checked LR activity numbers, 26 blew them out of the water and made up our minds. He's also super active as a London Twitter rep, and also bothered painted every payout. We hope he can bring the same activity to our LR. Welcome to Chicago. Man, CC really hates painted, doesn't he?
I mean, who would, to be fair? He's got a very punchable face.
Alright, next up is Arizona. That's me again. And with the 12th pick, Arizona selects a linebacker, Ignatius Riley. User
Picked
yes.
a baseball player.
Yep. And Arizona had this to say. Coming into the draft, we only had one real hole that we needed to fill, and that was the linebacker position. No better time to fix than a straightaway grabbing Ignatius really here in the first round and answering the one question we needed to. Jesper wasn't just a positional pick. He's a fantastic user who impressed us in our scouting and on the forums. He will be a great locker room fit and will make an impact both on and off the field.
Nice.
Was that a bit too close to the mic, or was that all right?
No, I think you're fine.
Because it was really weird. I was looking to my right, getting closer to my mic. Okay. Next up.
Well, anyways, with the 13th pick in the draft, New Orleans second line have another pick, and they will be selecting J.R. Frankenstero. Yep. They said, our oldest member of our team is Juosu at defensive end. So getting a defensive end for the future was another big need for us. Lucky for us, one of the top TPE users and defensive ends fell to us here. Punk 42 AE is the GM of the Brew City Bears over in the PBE. He has also been shown to be a consistent top earner in multiple leagues. That and a great scouting conversation led us to easily making this pick here to add to our young defense.
Congrats. Next up, pick 14 with Honolulu. Oh no, a trade.
A trade.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah, Baltimore traded for pick 14, and they gave up Nola's second rounder, pick 18, and Baltimore's third round pick, which is 41. So, with the 14th pick in this draft, the Baltimore Hawks selected running back Scotty McSix, user G2019 from Norfolk. He's one of my personal buddies, so I kind of had to trade up here and get him. We knew he wouldn't be there at 27 when we normally had our pick, so we had to make the move up and offered a bit more than we should have. But I hope it's gonna end up and he doesn't retire on us. It's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Damn.
Next
Big
up,
expectations out here.
Next up, the team that Scotty retired on. Oop.
The Colorado.
Oh gosh.
And the Yeti, they select a trade. Whoa.
Teams do be
No
traded.
way. Woo. All right, now you give it to us.
Let's do it. With the 15th pick in the draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select Jarvis Harbinger Margin, user Dreamsloth. Coming to the draft, we believe that we had two positions that we needed to address, defensive back and running back. After we made it to round 2 and saw that Dreamsloth was still on the board, we believed that if we didn't move up to get him, that we'd miss our chance. If you aren't familiar with Dreamsloth, you're probably not paying attention because this guy's everywhere. He's already a graphics creator, has a pretty sizable bank account, and is super active on Discord. He's also just a great guy to talk to, and he will add immense value not only as a player, but as a locker room presence.
I agree. So with the next pick, my Austin Copperheads, we select Nate Winter, safety, 2 stocks. So 2 stocks, I've seen them around in Minnesota and the DSFL server. They've been super active. They've been getting better at making graphics, and we need safeties because all of them are IA on our team, so they'll fit right in. We're really excited to bring them into our team. They're going to be a great fit.
Congrats, great user.
With the it's us, right? Yeah. With the 17th pick in the draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select tight end Jasper Fontaine, user Lord Coolcats. Lord Coolcats is someone we identified as the top tier user to bring into our team. Being from Norfolk, I've seen how much he has transformed the locker room with his fellow season 36 draftees, and we are excited for him to bring that spirit here to Philly. And hopefully he can teach us all to be a little bit more active as he's a freak.
Next up, pick 18, Honolulu. I don't know who has Honolulu.
All right, with the 18th pick in the draft, the Honolulu Lua, select wide receiver Octavio Perez, user Raven. Honolulu had to say, how could we not? Had to bring the man back to the team he created. A top-tier user from day one of the league. We were absolutely shocked to still see him there. Looking forward to seeing them back in the blue and gold.
Next up, Sarasota with a trade.
Whoa.
There are a lot of words.
They trade some draft picks and they get some other draft picks. I think that's about it.
I think you nailed that.
Yeah.
Right. That's how I do trades, actually. I just DM GMs like, let's exchange draft picks.
All right. CK, do you want to read for Chicago? Or
Well,
wait, is Chicago on the?
Okay.
Chicago's not.
Yes, Chicago's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the.
Okay. Hello.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
All right, we can wing this.
The suspension is
Should we just click on it and like?
Yeah, I'll just say a couple.
We can wing it.
We can all contribute.
Yeah, it's an easy one to contribute. So with the what's that, CK?
Stepping over me now.
Let's do it. Let's go. Is he alive?
All right, you ready, CK?
Yeah.
What was yours?
The 19th pick in the ISFL Draft, the Butchers select Austin Morley, wide receiver from Kansas City. User So Evil. AC had this to say. So Evil was the other prospect that we were considering at 11 overall. We didn't think there was any chance he would fall to 25. So Sarasota put this pick on the block, and we saw that So Evil was still there. We jumped on it as fast as we could. So why he was available at 5 rounds into the second round? Maybe people are just nervous about taking a KCC GM after what happened with the last one. Maybe they really don't like everyone pins. But we're confident that So Evil will be a great pick here and maybe one of the steals of the draft.
This one can't go worse than their last KCC GM, so.
It's going to be tough to beat it, yeah.
I'd be impressed if he did. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I'd respect that, to be honest.
If it does get worse, he earned the 19th pick. Let's go with that.
All right, so up next is Berlin.
20 pick. Yeah.
Yep. With the 20th pick in the ISFL Draft, the Berlin Salamanders will be taking Tay Dawson, age 2. This is what DeWalt had to say. He said, "We had an excellent scouting conversation with Gage, and we were told by several users if they were looking for a cornerback, Gage would be the great choice. We appreciate the quick passion they have shown for sim leagues by writing media and even joining the SHL, and the motivation they show for wanting to catch people in their class in TPE, even though they didn't create at the trade deadline, was something that they really appreciated about him. And I think he's going to be an amazing user for their team down the line. So congrats, Gage, to going up to...
Yeah, great user. Had a really good scouting combo with him. All right, next up, pick 21, San Jose.
The 21st pick, the San Jose SaberCats select Nick Scott, defensive end from Minnesota, user Pizza Face. This guy's another one that brings great energy, makes some funny graphics, and has built himself a really nice bank account so early in his career. And Madden may or may not have suggested that he would hold out if we didn't pick him. So we were happy to oblige here.
I mean, it's a great combo. You can't go wrong with Mike Scott and pizza in a name. So, right. Next up, New York. Or is it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
What is it?
Looks like another trade.
A trade back.
Arizona.
Whoa. Yeah, because we have a GM picks, so
yeah.
Any value we got was what we were looking for, and Arizona was very kind and offered.
Pick 68. Nice.
So close.
Yeah. With the 22nd pick, Arizona selects Savathun Witch Queen. Sathona was someone I had a great scouting conversation with. I think it was a position that we also needed to think about sooner rather than later. So after the scouting conversation, I was pretty keen to bring them on board. An opportunity came by to trade up in a second, and when that did happen, we had to do that to make sure we could grab the Witch Queen and bring it to Arizona. Congrats.
Ooh.
Alright, next up is me again. 1 second. Oh, this is easy. Best draft notes ever. With the 23rd pick, Yellowknife select the GM pick. Absolute unit. And the draft notes say, what a reach. So, on to Orange County. Who has Orange County again?
I think next.
He's not. He's muted.
Not my bad. All right, with the 24th pick in the draft, the Orange County Otters select the running back Leandre Diarra. Orange County had this to say: a great returning user that we just had to have here. Even though we have the greatest fullback of all time on the team, very questionable. Bringing in Slate was a no-brainer.
I wonder who wrote
Greatest fullback
of
all time. Come on.
I
didn't know Arizona had Buster Balls on that roster. So
Arizona,
greatest fullback of all time. Come on.
They don't have Ivan Tostovich, family.
All right, next up, Sarasota. Or is it again?
So we made this trade because we hate Infinite, and that's literally the only reason. We had 2 GM picks, and I think Austin didn't want anyone to have the indignity of getting drafted behind me. So we did this chaos.
Yeah.
Mostly because we hate Infinite, though.
We made him do this on vacation too. We extra hate him, not just regular. Extra hate.
He had to specially make this page too, because.
Austin's been both. Austin and New York have been in both of the 3-team trades that have happened.
That's a fun fact there.
That's a special hatred for
Fun fact.
All right, next up, Austin.
All right. So with the 25th overall pick, we select John Ralphio Saperstein, Ford Hammer from the Coyotes. So Ford Hammer, he's a user that like everyone in the war room like really loved, and he's the guy when we walked through the draft. It's like, okay, we need defensive end. Let's go get Ford Hammer, right? And he's a great user. He's a good earner. His last player was pretty good, so we're very excited to bring him to us.
Congrats. Next up, Sarasota.
The 26th pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select Harley Andrews, defensive end, user ABH89. The trading back and still seeing their top prospect on the board, the War Room was pounding the table to draft ABH here, being the prospect with the most interaction with the team, coupled with the proven ability to earn at the highest level. This was an easy pick and sure to be a draft steal. Come on.
All right.
And he's humble too. And he's
humble.
Wow.
I hope Frank wrote that, not him.
All right. Next up with pick 27 is Baltimore again. And we have a GM pick as well. It's going to be Bruce Buckley Jr. with NTG from the Long Beach Buccaneers.
Ooh.
Reach. Nah,
Reach.
Very glad to have the next Bruce Buckley on the team after the Hall of Famer O-liner. Soon Hall of Famer, hopefully. Yeah, great to have a linebacker here in the team. Next up, New York with a surprise pick.
Yep. With this pick, we select Bonsai Buddy. Me. So, to be honest, when we were making this pick, I accidentally fell asleep and clicked this name. It was a big mistake, so we can move on. They didn't let us undo it, though, so that was kind of mean.
All right. Next up
That's
is
all.
the first pick in the third round, Colorado. It's CK again.
That's not me.
On you. Next.
Nah, not me.
Where's Colorado?
Who
I can
bred
read
them?
it if you want, but it ain't me.
Oh, I'm
Who
confident.
bred
Are we
them
good?
this one?
I'm confident, Colorado.
Hello?
Yeah?
Jesus.
I'm here. Yeah, I've been here.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't hear you.
Oh, whatever. The Yeti, they select.
And he's gone.
Oh my god, I'm right here.
What are they selecting?
Weak.
They select Mr. Hog Molly, Stegosaurus. Am I gone yet? Am I
No,
still here?
you're there. You're there.
Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, they select Steg. This is what the Yeti had to say. Steg is someone who has worked extensively with several members of team management, has been involved in the league in all sorts of different positions, leading to being events head now. During scouting, Steg left a super strong impression, and so we are excited to have the opportunity to grab them here.
All right. Next up,
Yeah.
pick 30.
That's you again.
Oh, god damn it. With the 30th overall pick, the Austin Copperheads select Rafael Tomasi, enigmatic. So we needed a cornerback, and Annie Kaya was really singing her praises. She's a great user. I've had the pleasure of talking to her and stuff. She's been in the ISFL for a while. We're very excited to bring her in a position of need.
All right. People are saying
All
you
right.
need to restart maybe. So maybe I
Who?
this one. Next up is New York.
Okay. So with our third round pick 31 overall, we're selecting the one and only Mandrews Mick Hollywood, Russ fan. Russ is someone I've known for ages. When I first joined the league, Among Us was really big, and he used to play all the time. And I've just known him as someone who's always been a massive locker room presence and a very good earner and a very cool dude in general. And I'm super happy that we're able to fill our wide receiver hole with him. We're hoping that Mick Hollywood can bring some flash to our just receiving core in the next few years, and I'm excited to have him in New York. Welcome to Big Apple.
Also great render.
Will this wide receiver work out?
As a Cardinals fan, it's a great render. All right. Pick 32.
Sorry. There was a convenient crash because my Discord closed as soon as I finished talking, but
Oh.
I'm for no. So wait. Sorry, 1 second. I apologize.
Oh,
Okay. With the 32nd pick in the ISFL draft, NOLA will be selecting Charles Chaplin. With the loss of our D tackle, Cade Williams, there was a position of need for us looking to fill. Lucky for us, Charple fell right into our laps with this pick. With a big position of need and an awesome conversation, I felt like he would be a great fit for the team. Plus, he adds in some positional flexibility. So, if we end up sticking with the 3-4, all in all, we are really happy with this pick. Sorry, I think I don't understand periods, but that's okay. But Nola's happy to have Charple in. He's a really cool user, and they're excited to have him on their D line. So, congrats.
Oh,
All right. Next up, Sarasota.
The 33rd pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select Keel Steele, user non-complicit, defensive end from Minnesota. Really liked what we saw from non-complicit in regards to participation around the league, from leading the latest round of the IFL's Town of Salem game to recently joining Minnesota War Room. Non-complicit is quickly becoming a well-known name in the ISFL. On top of that, they also fill a hole in the Sailfish defense. I hope shut down offenses for many seasons to come.
Right. Next up, Berlin. Pick 34.
With the 34th pick, the Berlin Fire Salamanders will be selecting Fred Edison. Leiter. Leiter is someone we talked about in the first and strongly considered in the second, and are delighted that they fell to us in the third. This is a user that always seemed to be mocked draft in the first round of most of these community mocks. And our scout seemed to think that they were super active and really fun to have. And we're thrilled to have them as such a late pick. Welcome to Team Leiter.
Congrats. Next up, Sarasota. San Jose. Sorry.
Same thing.
Yeah, basically.
The 35th pick, the San Jose SaberCats select Fat Jack, defensive tackle from Bondi Beach, user AW13. I could talk for forever about this dude. AW is one of my closest friends in sim leagues, and he's been on the Cats with a couple different players now, and as he never gets tired of pointing out, I've never won an Ultimus without him. So is that a coincidence? Maybe, maybe not.
All right, pick 36, Colorado.
Oh, damn it. I'm really bad at this. With the 36th overall pick, the Colorado Yeti select Betty Pikes is below average. You're not below average. Come on. Running back. So here's what they have to say about this user. The easiest way I can describe below is that they are the opposite of their username. Thank you. They have just demonstrated an enormously infectious energy in their time in culture that is above and beyond average. We are happy to get to keep that lovely energy around with the team, around in the longer term, and to spend more time with them.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, but I didn't realize their name was below average. I thought it was like Bello Wav GG or something.
I did.
Until you said that, I was like, oh, I didn't realize that.
Maybe he's a below average G.
It do be like that.
Yeah. Next up, Yellowknife with pick 37, and that's me again. With pick 37, Yellowknife select Reese Wells, tight end, user Josta on Bondi. And they had the following to say: it's been a while since the Reds have rostered a tight end, much less drafted one. We were excited that Wells II was still on the board here, and can't wait to see another Rice. I can't pronounce that. Tight end excel on the field. Res. Next up, Orange County.
With the 38th pick in the draft, the Orange County Auto select.
Oh, what? Detention.
Cornerback Suggs Upstar the second, user Suggs. So I don't have any notes for him, but I just know personally that he's a really great user. On his last player, I think he went really high in the first round, and unfortunately, he took some time away. But we're all very, very happy to see him back, and I think he is a great value pick here at 38.
Let's go. He's got some unfinished business in Orange County.
All right. Next up, Chicago.
With the 39th pick, the Chicago Butchers select Joseph Reed, defensive tackle, user Reedy or not. DC had this to say. No exaggeration, Reed was one of the best scouting conversations I had this season. How often do you get to say that about a person you've drafted at 39 overall? And that's why I'm so excited about this pick. Reed is an actual former, in real life, Butcher, which was the first time that we had to draft him. He's also friends with our previous pick, So Evil, so it's very cool that we get to keep them together. This pick, we get to round out our defensive line of the future and simultaneously bring in a great locker room presence as well.
A great little fun fact that he's actually a butcher in real life.
That is fun.
That sounded sarcastic.
I didn't mean it to be. It is. It's pretty interesting. I'm sorry.
Okay. With pick
Reading your-
40, Arizona select Dennis Rodman with a one hell of a render.
Wow, that is a good idea.
Dennis Rodman user PBS from Tijuana, and they had the following to say. The War Room rejoiced when PBS made it to pick 40. He's made an immediate impact in the Tijuana locker room and is another great character to add to ours. Always useful to have O-line on a deep roster, especially when it's a user as great as PBS. We look forward to adding the beefy boy to our O-line, where we can grow and learn from Sanders and Mangelson. He's the future of this continually dominates Arizona O-line. Alright, next up, Honolulu. Or is it? No, it's Arizona.
Whoa!
With a huge trade, by the way. A first for pick 41. That just shows how deep this draft class was. Alright, next up, Arizona again. With the 41st pick, they select linebacker Akaki Akaye. User Euler. That's tough for the German tongue. Euler was someone we had been watching closely in the draft and had hours of discussions about if we should draft him as our answer to linebacker in the first round. Then somehow they were still on the board at this point. Knowing what an outstanding user they are, we had to reach out to Honolulu and offer the deal they couldn't refuse. And we got to add another top shelf user to this locker room. Congrats on the trade, and hopefully it works out. Next up, Austin.
Okay, it's me. So with the 42nd overall pick, the Austin Copperheads select Jimmy Holding, the Danger Zone, O-lineman from Minnesota. Another Minnesota guy. But TDZ's a really cool guy. He's active in Minnesota. He's really enjoyed talking to him. Kaya, again, raised his praises. So definitely excited to bring him to Austin. Also another veteran sim leaguer. So very excited.
Next up, Colorado.
With the 43rd overall pick, the Colorado Yeti select Shocker, F off I am Yeti SD Core. I think it is safe to say this is the most known pick of the draft given the player name. We are very happy to bring Corey home with this selection. He is a rain of sunshine on a cloudy day that we welcome to have in Colorado, and we welcome him back with open arms. Yeah, I'm very, very surprised when I saw this one come into the draft channel. Didn't expect it. And once again, me. So with the 44th overall pick, the Austin Copperheads select Dallas Rogue, Roma, and the Arcani safety from Portland. So he joined late, but this guy's been earning like an absolute machine. He's been active apparently in the Portland locker room, and Pug, our ESFL GM that we have in our locker room, he loved him. He wanted us to get him like so much. Like we were in the first round, second overall. So I know we had the second overall, like, but we need to get this guy. So we had to make it happen. Welcome to the team.
Could be a draft steal then, if he's that good. Next up, New York.
Yes, and that's me. With the 45th pick in the ISFL draft, we will be picking Caden King from user Cage Creator. This guy has been really cool. We had a great scouting conversation with him, and he's been very active on Twitter. He runs the Dallas Twitter account. That's something a position I had before, so I was there's kind of a brotherhood there. He's someone that we're really excited to bring in. He's in a lot of different sim leagues, and he seems really excited about the league. And he's someone that will be able to fill a bunch of different spots for us. And we're thrilled to be able to land him at this spot. The fact that we're getting 200 TPE users in the 4th round just shows how great this draft class is. Yeah.
All right, next up, Honolulu. No, is it?
I'm
kidding.
With the 46th pick in the draft, the Honolulu select RB Beaton Delphine Jr., user Seymour Snatches. Honolulu said another previous Honolulu that we are so excited to have back. Their previous player was a staple on our defense the last few seasons. We are excited to bring them back this time on offense. Bean better be ready to score some touchdowns.
Next up, Sarasota, pick 47.
47th pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select Justin Cloud, defensive end from Kansas City. User Just Cloud. Start with the boring stuff. Our scout had a very pleasant conversation with Just Cloud, and they will help bolster what was an uncharacteristically poor Sailfish defense in S35. That's out of the way. If you haven't seen the graphics that Just Cloud has been putting out, do yourself a favor and give them a look. They're top tier, and the style is very unique. Can't wait to see what they can do with the Sailfish color scheme.
All right, next up, Berlin, pick 48.
With the 48th pick in the ISFL draft, Berlin will be taking Nathan Mellinger. Nathan has been
Meager.
What?
Meager.
Hold
Meager?
on.
Oh my god.
Where did you get that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nathan.
You
Well,
gotta reset that one.
Nathan Meager. I'm sorry. Nathan has been a fantastic earner in their time in the league. I know that they must be disappointed to see themselves fall this far, but we are delighted to get such an absolute steal. We are looking forward to bring them to Berlin and having them be a key piece of our team for many seasons to come. Yeah, and this is another one of those, like, it's crazy to see a 200-some TBE player this late. And yeah, I'm sure that Berlin is thrilled that they got someone at that level, like this late in the draft.
Yeah, he fell very deep, very active in Bondi. So, yeah. We'll prove the doubters wrong. Next up, San Jose.
The 49th pick, the San Jose SaberCats select Will Nightingale, corner from Norfolk, user Purple Pirate Poo. This pick was a little bit under the radar. I think he's earned fairly well so far, but apparently he's been studying abroad this semester and will be coming back to the States fairly soon and plans on diving in a little bit more when he gets back. So they're very excited about what this could potentially be. I think this could be a steal for us.
Yep. Great. Next up, Philly.
With the 50th pick in the draft, Philadelphia will select wide receiver Derek Prince, user an unoriginal guy. Honestly, we had no idea how he fell this far. He's one of the most active users in the rookie chat. He has a really, really big bank account. He's been doing almost every single TPE task. And he's been dropping a few hints in the rookie chat, whether it was a meme or not, that he would love to be in Philly. And we could not be any more excited to grab him. So,
yeah, I'm really jealous of this pick. Baltimore tried to trade into the 4th round to get him, even the 3rd round. But we couldn't manage to trade up, sadly. So, congrats. Next up, Berlin.
I promise I'll pronounce this name right. With the 51st pick in the ISFL draft, Berlin will be taking
You mispronounced this one.
LFT user C9 Van.
You got it.
There we go, dude. That was a hard one too.
Congrats.
There's typically one thing you can expect from Van, and it's that they will be a great earner. Even with that ability, we know that they consistently fall in the draft due to the perception of their previous behavior. However, when it came to the Berlin War Room, none of our users expressed any concern with taking Van. We are looking to giving Van a warm, welcoming place to the team and the ISFL. Yeah, I agree with that. Van has been pretty decent for a while, so it's nice to see him land in a place that's gonna love him like that, I guess.
Awesome. Could be another steal. Next up, Orange County. What is it? No, it's Zane again.
Whoa.
I hate using.
Whoa. Yeah, so as soon as we made that KH pick, we basically had we had this late 6th-rounder, or the 6th-rounder, and we wanted to move up a bit because we really wanted to take this user and bring him back to New York. And that is Pancakes, Les Polis. He was one of our original silverbacks. He was drafted in S25, and he played a long career with us. Les is a primarily SHL user, but he's always been a great presence in New York. And he told a lot of teams that if given the chance, New York would be the top place he would come back. And we were considering taking him with the last pick, but we kind of felt like the value was there to trade up a little bit and be able to snag him a little bit later. And we're lucky that gamble paid off, and we're super lucky that OCO was willing to make that trade with us. So thank you, Thunder Titan, for that. But Pancakes, hopefully, just like Mark Hamill, his last player, he'll be a key part of our O-line, and basically maybe he'll pass him. I think Mark Hamill owns the New York record for Pancakes, and maybe Pancakes will pass that. Woo!
Well, I'm
Happy to have him.
definitely hungry now.
Wow.
I can tell you that much.
A lot of pancakes.
Yeah. All right, next up, Sarasota.
The 53rd pick, sorry. With the 53rd pick, Sarasota selects Pizza, quarterback from Norfolk, user Seal. Tried a couple times to move up a few picks from here to grab Seal, but weren't quite able to work out a deal. Pleasantly surprised to see Seal was still available when our pick finally came around. The combination of great scouting experience, league job, additional flexibility made this the greatest Seal of the draft. So everyone loves pizza.
God.
The tortured puns.
They didn't even try. But he's a great user. I had a great scouting combo with him as well, but the wordplay could have been better. Alright, next up, Arizona, pick 54, and Arizona selects a linebacker, Emerson Quinn, user Crundle from London. And they had the following to say. We came back to our biggest need in the 4th round. Crundle was one of the users we targeted early during scouting as an option for this pick, but we were concerned he wouldn't last as long. He was a joy to scout, and we were very pleased he fell to us here. We doubled down on London linebackers and couldn't be happier bringing this fantastic duo to the desert. They will be the future stars of our defense. Next up, New Orleans.
Yep, and with the 55th pick in the ISFL draft, the New Orleans second line will be selecting Rockbo. And this is user Rockbo. Yep, I'm glad I took the time to read that. So this is what some had to say about this. Rockboat was a treasure to speak to. He answered all my questions perfectly, even all the silly ones. I asked all the prospects. And I think he'll be a great addition to the locker room and a great fit for our team in the future.
Good thing Zane didn't have this pick. Next up, Philly.
Just ignore the background noise. With the 56th pick in the draft, Philadelphia Liberty select running back Udo Ebd, user Bectudo. So we targeted Bectudo late in the draft because he has shown amazing involvement in the league. While starting out slowly, he's done almost every task, and he's part of the sim team. And while it's tough to overlook him being a Vols fan, we'll figure that out later.
What is happening?
Someone is excited about the pick. All right, next up, Colorado.
The 57th pick, the Colorado Yeti select. When the Orlando Doom, offensive lineman Bunny. So when the opportunity to grab a vampire offensive lineman comes up, I feel you rightfully need to pounce on it. Tesla wrote this, definitely. We look forward to having that kind of talent on the field and and to hopefully get to know more about the mind that the talent in the locker room comes with this selection. What a render.
Yeah. All right, next up, Austin.
More?
Yeah.
With the 58th overall pick, the Austin Copperhead select Sexy Willful. What the fuck is that? What is that?
With the SHL
That is-
pick in the background.
What? That is a render. Oh my. Sexy Wolf or Wuma. So Wuma is a great guy. I've talked to him before. He's awesome. He's a more of an SHL guy, but he was on Philly with his last player, and he was an offensive lineman. I think he was really good for them. So we're excited to bring him to play defensive tackle because we have no defensive tackles that are active or not in regression. So we definitely need one. Welcome, Wuma.
Next up, Orange County. Is that next? Not same.
No,
Yeah.
isn't it a
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
Isn't it a
Yeah. And Chicago is now on the clock.
All right. At the 59th pick, the Chicago Butchers select Walter McKinley, linebacker, user King of the Ozone. CC had this to say. He drafted one of So Evil's friends with our last pick, so why not trade up to get his other friend? Ozone and I had a pretty chill scouting conversation, and I've been his updater this season. I knew the potential was there. I'm glad we were able to snag him here, and I can't wait to see how they fit into the future of the team.
All right. And with the 60th pick, New Orleans is up again, and they will be selecting Kurt Gollum. So, unfortunately, they have not been able to talk with Pat's Freak, but they saw that they were still earning pretty decently, and they figured they would take a shot at tight end here, since they would need one down the line. And we hope to get him into the locker room and get to know him better, but they're thrilled to be able to get the chance to do that.
All right, next up, Sarasota.
With the 61st pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select Malcolm Graves, running back from Minnesota, user Flake? Flack?
Flag, I think.
John Huntsman entering regression wanted to bring in a running back in to develop. Wanted to bring a running back in to develop with the host of them ultimately taking over the lead back role. Flack fits this need and will be another pleasant personality to add to the Sailfish locker room.
All right, next up, Berlin.
Yep. And with the 62nd pick in the draft, Berlin will be taking Rocco Santa Cruz from Aircrew. AC, I'm sorry. We know you plan on being a quarterback, but we couldn't let you fall further in this draft. AC's last player was an excellent wide receiver for Berlin and offered a strong contribution in the war room as well. So welcome back, AC, to Berlin.
All right.
Yeah. AC is a really good user. He was on New York for a little bit too. And I'm pretty sure he only fell just because of the quarterback stuff. And hopefully he can figure out a plan with Berlin down the line.
Yeah. All right, next up, San Jose.
The 63rd pick, the San Jose SaberCats select CG Breezy, running back from Tijuana, user Lil Monkey. He's been in contact with my co-GM, Russ, a lot since he joined the league, and I've seen him around in WSBL a bunch too. And I think he just trying to learn how the system works, and I think he'll bring good energy to our locker room, and we're excited to see what he can do.
All right, next up, Philly.
With the 64th pick in the draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select running back Jair Farrow, user JMC119. we had a really nice scouting conversation with this user, and he hasn't been on the site recently, but he's been active on Twitter, and we think that he would be a nice contributor to the team.
Awesome. Next up is Yellowknife, which will be me again. They will be selecting tight end Richard Harden, username Alpha Victory, and that the following to say: every team needs a player with vaguely sexual name, and our scout had a great conversation with Harden prior to the draft. So we were happy he was still on board here. Welcome to Yellowknife. Next up, Orange County.
All right, with the 66 pick, Orange County select. Kicker, Jeremy Krause Jr., user TwinsFan87. TwinsFan87 is a user that had a previous player on Norfolk, who I really enjoyed GMing, and they are back with this next player with a vengeance, and unfortunately with a Tennessee render.
All right. Orange County again.
With the 67th pick, Orange County select. Defensive tackle Tyrod Iverson, user Klusman. I honestly don't know much about this user, but they seem like they'll be a great pickup.
Awesome. And now I'm up with the 68th pick. New York will be selecting Amandan Fool, Joe Fish. Joe is a user that's been in the league for a bit now. I've known him for ages. He's been a pretty good friend of mine. He has not really earned too much TPE, but he told me in scouting that once he graduates, in probably in a week or so, he's going to start taking more time to start earning and stuff again. So we're hoping that we drafted a massive steal here. But either way, Joe Fish is a massive locker room presence. Either way, so we would love to have him and just to hang out with us in the locker room. And we're hoping that we can turn him into a great player, just like his last player, Danny King Jr., of course.
All right, now with the nicest pick of the draft, pick 69, Baltimore select Mabel Pines, user Dude Woman, and yeah, very exciting pick. We'll see what the future holds. It's gonna be exciting. Yep. Next up, Honolulu.
With the 70th pick, the Honolulu select. Wide receiver Justo, user Drew Likes Panthers. Honolulu said that this late in the draft, we were excited to find someone with some good activity level. We are hopeful we can have Drew become a key part of this team going forward.
Jesus. That was quick. Right, Colorado.
With the 71st overall pick, the Colorado Yeti select Larry Jice, DJ the M16. So here's what the Yeti had to say about this user. Given that CJ hasn't been seen in almost 2 months, odds are that they're watching this is slim. But if you are out there, we have be known as the Yeti and would love to help Larry Jice climb the receiving yards leaderboard. So please come back. And then with the 72nd overall pick, the Copperheads select Trigger Robinson, O-line, the great Bambino. So we couldn't actually reach this guy, but he was eligible for awards according to Philly. So figured, well, he was here recently, so that makes sense. Do that. Yeah.
Okay. Oh god. With the 73rd pick, the Orange County Otters select the greatest name in the history of the ISFL, Poo Poo and P, safety user Poo Poo and P. With a name like that, I have a feeling that's going to be great.
Next up, Nola.
Yep, and with this pick, New Orleans will be selecting Nick Smith. At this point, there are very few active players left, but we saw that Nick Smith has actually been on the forum a few days ago. Hopefully, we can get them back and active, and maybe more interest in the league after they see this draft. And we're happy. Yep.
Huh?
So hopefully we do see him come back. That'd be really cool to see. Congrats, Nick.
Next up, Sarasota.
The 75th pick, the Sarasota Selfish select Givens, Cornerback from Bondi Beach, user GTG1994. DB position has traditionally been one of the strong suits of the Sailfish defense. We hope GTG1994 can join those ranks of Sailfish CBs, and we're excited to have them on the team.
I was so close to not spoiling any slides. God dang it. Next up.
Oh boy. Okay, so with the 76 pick, Berlin will be taking Schmitty So DeWalt said, it looks like this player's gone IA. I don't want to write something generic, so please do one of the following. So I'm going to do number B. So there's a username. There's a username, the CC. And fun fact, he cannot ride a bike. And I just feel like that's important that everyone knows that CC can't ride a bike, and when he did, he got really hurt, and it was really funny. And DeWalt wanted the league to know that on stream.
Of course he did.
People, I'm sure someone will post the picture in Gen Chat or something.
Can we hear the other two?
The other one was a freestyle rap about clouds. C was a generic thing about hoping this guy returns, and D was just all of the above. Do you want to do a freestyle rap on Confident about clouds?
No. No. I'm not a rapper, sadly.
I'm not a rapper.
Not a cloud rapper.
I'm not a SoundCloud rapper.
There we go. That's the bar somewhere.
Bars.
Alright, next up, San Jose.
The 77th pick, the San Jose SaberCats select Ethan Wilhelm, wide receiver from Portland, user Salty Stew 32. Stu has been earning TPE. It just seems he had a little bit misunderstanding on how to update, but we think we can get that straightened out, and if we can get a 6 active out of this draft, that would be fantastic.
All right, next up, Philly.
With the 70th pick in the draft, the Philadelphia Liberty select kicker Patrick Cunningham, user Buttersquatch 101. We needed an active kicker soon with TP integration, and we are looking forward to them becoming a great locker presence and hopefully our kicker of the future.
All right, next up with the last pick of the draft is Yellowknife, and they will be picking, or they're picking, Funk McDunk, user DefMonk, and they had the following to say: after wasting a draft pick on a defensive tackle, should bust, we had an opportunity here to redeem ourselves with a far superior player. I think this is a play on the GM pick, which was a reach. So, yeah, this is a start. And that ends the draft.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Sorry if I pronounced your name, because apparently I did that a lot.
I heard somebody leaked a draft pick.
Ooh, our fine's coming in.
Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
Hi, Infinite.
Hello. Okay, bye.
All right, bye. Good night, everyone. And congrats on everyone who got drafted. Yeah. It doesn't matter how early or how late you gone. All that matters is what you do with the opportunity you have now. And I hope all of you stay active and become superstars.
And it's a marathon, not a sprint. There we go.
That was beautiful.
I got it.
Meow meow.
Thank you.
Are we done?
And yep, have a good night.
Night. Peace.